In this lesson, we're going to have a look at drawing and reading histograms. Now, this builds upon what you probably already know about histograms, because when it comes to A-level maths, the challenge is how to deal with class boundaries. So I'll give you an example to show you exactly what I mean. So this one says a sample of 100 people from a particular town were asked their ages and years, and the results were as follows. So you've got all your data there. The results are to be represented by a histogram. State the lower and upper bounds of each class, justifying your answers. And at A level, this is the sort of problem that they could throw your way, because notice that there looks to be gaps between the classes. This one finishes at 16, then there's a whole number before we get to the next class, 17. So it looks like a bit of a discontinuity, if you like. So when dealing with ages, this is the key, and this only applies to ages. So when the x variable is age, so let's consider the people who could potentially be left out of this histogram because they fall between the two classes. They fall between 16 and 17 years of age. Well, if you think about how we actually deal with ages, these people here who are 16 years of age are 16 years of age right up until the very second, the very split second, the very moment they turn 17 years old. So this category here actually goes all the way up to, but not including the first moment that somebody turns 17. So for part A, state the lower and upper bounds for each class. So the 0 to 16, the lower bound will be 0, because that's the moment that somebody's born, and the upper bound would be 17. So if we think about it, what this actually means is that this class 0 to 16 really means 0 less than or equal to x less than 17. It contains every value up to being 17 years old except the moment we hit 17 itself. So the lower bound will be 0, the upper bound will be 17. For 17 to 29, the lower bound is 17, and the upper bound would be 30, because someone is 29 years old right up until the moment they turn 30. The next one, 30 to 49. So the lower bound will be equal to 30, and the upper bound goes all the way up to 50, because someone is 49 years old right up until the moment they turn 50. Then here's the problem. The last one, 50 plus, is an open-ended class. So this is why justifying the answers is written here, because this one we're going to have to justify. The 50 plus category we are going to have to justify. There's no exact way of dealing with this. Now, as long as we're clear about our reasoning for choosing the boundaries of this, then it's fine. So the lower bound clearly is going to be 50. Now, what I'm going to assume is that no resident can be older than 100 years old. Any sensible assumption will do, but that's going to be my assumption. No resident can be older than 100 years old. So that means my upper bound is going to be 101. And I'm just going to justify my answer, assuming the oldest resident is 100. So that there is me having stated the lower and upper bounds for each class and having justified my answers. So the next part, part B, actually asks us to construct a histogram now. So in order to do that, what I'm first going to do is change the way that this data is presented. We've got ages and we've got frequencies, but I'm going to change the table now. So my x value, I'm going to make 0 less than or equal to x less than 17 is the first class. Then it went from 17 to 30 for the second class. Then it went from 30 up to 50 for the next class. And then it went from 50 up to, and my assumption was nobody could be older than 100 years old. So actually the upper bound for that class is going to be 101. Right, so then we've got the frequencies, which I'm just going to copy down. There was 17, there was 12, there was 40, and there was 31. And what we're going to work out now is the class width and the frequency density. And on a histogram, what we do, we plot x values against frequency densities. So the class width here is the width of each class. So 17 take away 0 is 17. 30 take away 17 is 13. 50 take away 30 is 20. And 101 take away 50 is 51. And let's now calculate the frequency densities. So frequency density is frequency divided by class width. Frequency divided by class width. So frequency divided by class width here is 1. 12/13. Let's get a number that we can plot, 0.923. If it turns out that 923 is too precise, we can just make the diagram a little bit rougher. 40 divided by 20, which is 2. And 31 divided by 51, which gives us roughly 0.608. So there is our data that we're going to plot frequency divided by class width. And there's the set of axes on which we're going to draw the histogram. So let's first of all get a sensible scale. I can see that my y-axis, the frequency density axis, is going to go as high as 2. So I would suggest any multiple of 2 will be a sensible scale to put on the y-axis. So there's my y, or frequency density axis. And there's my x-axis. Now what I've got to be able to do here is label these. So label that frequency density and label that age in years. And it's important that we do that. Right, so now let's just plot them. So 0 to 17 will have height 1. 17 to 30 will have a slightly lower height, 0.923. 30 to 50 will have a height of 2. And there's the bar for 50 to 101. Now a bit of pre-assumed knowledge here. What you should know is that in any histogram, it's the area of the bars and not the height that represents frequency. So if I wanted to find out the frequency of that this bar represents, I'd do the width, which is 20, times the height, which is 2, and that gives me 40. 20 times 2 is 40. So the final part, it said determine an estimate for the median and mean age of a resident of this town. So let's do that, part C. Determine estimate. We'll start with the median. So in a histogram, the median is the quantity that has half of the area to the left and half of the area to the right of it. So let's determine, just roughly for now, where the median would be. Well, having a look at the chart here, we know that that's got 17 things in it. That's got 12, that's got 40, and that's got 31 people in it. So let's determine where the 50th person would be. So we've got 100 people altogether. The 50th person would be the median. So here we've got 17. By the time we've got to the end of this category, 17 plus 12 is 29. We'd have seen 29 people. So the 50th person overall, if we've got a 29 by the end of here, will be the 21st person in here, the 21st in there. That will be the median, the 21st person in here, the height of them. So I'm going to put my boundary marker, as I'm going to call it, down there. This here is the median, the 21st, the height of the 21st person in that bar. So 21 is the total frequency in this new sub bar that I've made. So I currently don't know the width of it, but I do know the height of it. I know that the height is 2. So the calculation that I'm going to do is 2 times the width equals 21, which means that the width is 21 divided by 2, which is 10.5. So that marker there is 10.5 to the left of the start of the bar. So 30 plus 10.5 equals 40.5 is the median. So 40.5 is the median. The mean is a lot easier. The mean we can just get using our calculator and the data here from the table. So let's do it. Let's go into stats mode in our calculator. And it's a one variable calculation we're going to do. And the midpoint of 0 to 17, well, we'll add the two boundaries together, then divide by 2. That gets us the midpoint. And the frequency there was 17. Then, getting the midpoint again, 17 plus 30, divided by 2, midpoint, and frequency. Then midpoint. This one is obviously going to be 40, but for completeness, I'm just showing you the method. And the frequency there was 40. And 50 plus 101 divided by 2. And we've got 31 people in that class. Then pressing OPTN takes us to this menu. I'm going to do a one variable calculation, which is option 3. So the mean we can see is 43.35. 43.35 years. And the median, let's not forget the unit of that one as well, which is years. 40.5 years. So there we've done it. We've calculated the mean and the median. So you might want to have a look back at this method, see what's going on again. But for now, let's move on to another type of problem that they could throw at us with histograms. So again, the problem here is the class boundaries in this question. So it says the table below shows percentage marks obtained by a group of students who sat a test. So 0 to 9%, 19 students got that. 15 students got 10 to 40. 10 got 41 to 49, and so on. So part A, state the upper and lower bounds of each class, fully justifying your choice of boundary. So again, there's not really a 100% accepted way of dealing with this, but the best way is to take a common sense approach. So for example, for 0 to 9%, we can see that there's a gap straight after that between 9 and 10. Now it makes sense to split that gap equally. So to extend this by 0.5 and to extend this the other way by 0.5. So for 0 to 9, the boundary I'm going to use, the lower bound, is 0. And I'm going to fully justify it because no student can get lower than 0. And the upper bound is going to be 9.5. And what I've done there is halved the gap between classes. Right, so now if we go from 10 to 40, the lower bound is going to be where we left off previously. So the lower bound's 9.5. And again, what I've done here, I've halved the gap between classes. And the upper bound equals 40.5. Again, halve the gap between classes. And I'm just going to go on the same way here. So I'll not make you sit through me writing this all out. And that's them done. And the only real notable one is the upper bound of the final class, which remains at 100. Nobody can get more than 100%, so we're not going to extend that because there's no gap, if you like, at the end. It goes all the way up to 100, and 100% is the highest percentage that you could get. So, next part, part B, when the histogram is drawn, the 0 to 9 bar is drawn 4 centimeters tall. 4 centimeters tall. Determine to 3 significant figures the height of the bars corresponding to the 41 to 49 and the 50 to 59 classes in the table above. So we are going to now have a look at frequency densities. That's the key to getting this right, looking at frequency densities. So the 0 to 9 bar we saw went all the way from 0 up to 9.5. So from 0 up to 9.5. So the class width is 9.5 take 0, which is 9.5. Therefore, the frequency density is frequency divided by class width, 9 divided by 9.5, which is 2. So the frequency density is 2. Now, if it's drawn 4 centimeters tall, frequency density of 2 is 4 centimeters. So that means to get between frequency density and the actual height, we simply times by 2, because to get from 2 to 4, we multiply by 2. So this is the height in frequency density, that's the height in centimeters. To convert between these units, just multiply by 2. So actually the actual height of the bars in centimeters is double the frequency density. So let's work out the heights of the other bars now. So we've got 41 to 49. And I can see here that the class width is 9, 49.5 take away 40.5. So the frequency divided by the class width, 10 divided by 9, times this conversion factor of 2, that gets us from frequency density to centimeters in this case. So 10 over 9 times 2. Put that in the calculator correctly. 10 over 9 times 2 is 2.22 to 3 significant figures. And then we've got the 50 to 59. So 50 to 59, so 59.5 all the way down to 49.5. We can see that that's 10 wide. So the frequency divided by class width, which is 32 over 10 times 2 equals, and leaving nothing to chance, get straight on the calculator, 32, put that in the right mode, 32 over 10 times 2, which is equal to 32 over 5, or 6.4 centimeters. And that's it. A crash course in reading and making and interpreting histograms. Now have a go at the worksheet. Do all the examples. Get yourself familiar with this.